See, the phrase "you can be whatever you want to be" is
Not so sure that's true.
a mantra repeated by motivational speakers, parents, and even plenty of educators. Yes, it serves as a beacon to encourage young people to go for whatever they want to be and to motivate them. Break boundaries, dream big, and believe in the endless possibilities ahead. But in Nigeria, in my own country, a country plagued by systemic failure, the harsh reality is that this ideal remains largely unattainable by the average citizen. The Nigeria dream is not what they think it is. Merit often falls victim to nepotism, and hard work succumbs to corruption. And the mantra that you can become whatever you want to be. It's a society where even the most ambitious mind are routinely battered by systemic inequality, living dreams deferred and destinies derailed. But seriously, in such environments, the belief that anyone can rise above their circumstances by sheer will and determination is more often not. Come on, it's false. The deck is stacked too heavily against those born in poverty. Yes, you can try as much as possible. And it's even crazier because the only thing that happens to be our fault was being born on the wrong side of privilege. Yet, this allure of dream persists, whispering promises that if you push hard enough, you can break free. But when the system fails you at every turn, the chase can become a lifelong pursuit of something unattainable. Let me tell you a story. This is the story of Jide Chase. From the name Chase, I know you know how it ended. Jide was born in the slums of Ajegunle, Lagos, to parents who could barely make ends meet. From a young age, Jide had dreams of becoming a civil engineer. His fascination with construction and his desire to rebuild the crumbling cityscape around him burned deeply in his heart. Every time he looked at the dilapidated buildings in his neighborhood, he imagined something better, a skyline of gleaming towers and solid structures that wouldn't collapse after every rainy season. So the point is, Jide had dreams just like everyone. But at the age of 6, Jide's mother enrolled him in a public school nearby. What else do you expect? The classrooms were overcrowded, definitely, and teachers rarely showed up. But Jide was determined. He would sneak into the library. Does that even exist? Because for real, a public school which has a library, definitely with books that have outdated curriculums. They change the curriculums every time, yet do not provide the books needed. Well, Jide was brilliant and his grades were very good. In fact, he was smart. But then he began to realize his limits of being smart in Nigeria. When it came time for secondary school, Jide's father lost his job at the local factory due to a cutback. The family struggled to pay for his school fees. Of course, Jide would have to sit down a little bit, at least, let's say 2 years. So, Jide's dream felt more distant than ever. He would wake up before dawn, selling sachets of pure water at traffic intersections just to help his family get by. Every naira he earned took him further from his books and closer to the unforgiving grind of survivor. He just got to hustle, man. Despite it all, Jide managed to scrape his way through secondary school with passable grades. His teachers, impressed by his resilience, encouraged him to apply to university. He took the UTME exams and his results were decent enough to at least earn him a place in a state university. It seemed as though Jide's dream was still alive. And in secondary school, Jide quite did some little bit of hustling. And his mother collected her job money. They packed everything together, sent Jide go school. But university life wasn't what he had imagined, not what any of us imagined. Let's not even talk about the classes. And the lecturers often went on strike, a product of hustle. Jide, already struggling financially, found it hard to keep up with the increasing cost of education. The federal government's promises to improve education funding never materialized, and like thousands of other students, Jide found himself in a never-ending loop of delays and broken dreams. He couldn't afford to stay idle during the strikes, and Jide, he didn't want to do what some people are doing to survive. His colleagues, people he grew up with in the slum, you guys do something. But Jide took another route. He decided to take on menial jobs, cleaning houses, driving a commercial motorcycle, an Okada, and later becoming an apprentice as a local mechanic shop. By the time Jide will graduate, hustle. Sometimes na 001 you go use for food, sometimes na 000. But man, he graduated. Yes, what would you expect? Definitely not the first class. Jide was 28 with no job prospect, just a certificate and a dashed mountain road. Certificate na just like newspaper. Even after school, the Nigerian system continued to betray him. The construction industry was riddled with corruption. Jobs were given to those with connections, not competence. Jide applied for internships, entry level jobs, anything just to put his foot in the door. But time and time and time passed again. He was turned down. And he was told that there was no space, or worse, he needed to know someone to get in. Exactly, year passed and Jide watched his peers who had come from wealthier families, moved abroad, secured government job, blah 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 blah. Their papa go do one for them. Every time he thought about achieving something, the goal was pulled from him under by system lifted. Jide also later started. You definitely know the meaning. Jide had no other choice than to survive. Jide wanted to take on online jobs and stuff like that, but you needed to learn it, right? And Jide was not very lucky. They are always asking for money for the course, but person we never even chop. How you want pay for course? So Jide learned the hard way that in Nigeria, the idea that you can be whatever you want to be is more of a dream than a reality. He has chased his dreams. He try now. Jide now should be like 35 or 45. Although this is a fictional story, I think there are so many unfulfilled dreams. I mean, the basic shit about living in Nigeria is just about survival. Let me just survive. Let me make money anyhow. Forget about if it's my passion or not my passion. You even get passion for it. You just have to survive and make money.